entirely a different story. You see the 2-year age advantage, if you want to call it that, for Mayorga at this stage of his career. They're both 5 feet 9 inches tall. A half-inch arm length advantage for Shane Mosley, measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in at 153.5 for this fight at the 154-pound weight level. Shane Mosley, on the same scale on which he weighed in yesterday, tonight weighed 160.5. Ricardo Mayorga, on exactly the same scale on which he weighed in yesterday, tonight weighed 170. That's a huge rehydration overnight. And once again, we make the point that when he weighed in against De La Hoya at that weight in 2006, he was eventually fined $100,000 by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for taking diuretics. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Shane Mosley Ricardo Mayorga fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3-knockdown rule. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. In case it is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round.
Coming to the ring, Ricardo Mayorga.
The Nicaraguan wild man asserted to us yesterday, the only person who can ever beat me is me. I lost to De La Hoya because I had not properly gotten into shape for the fight and had to take diuretics to make weight. I lost to Felix Trinidad because I had been arrested. I was in a car crash. I also didn't make weight. This time I've trained for 14 weeks and have put in more serious preparation than ever before in my career, and so therefore you're going to see the best Ricardo Mayorga ever tonight.
He says that he has given up his 3-pack-a-day cigarette addiction, plus the alcohol he loves so dearly, at the request of his mother, who you see right on his left there on the right side of our screen. Whether or not he can get through a fight, having given up the things that he used as fuel all of these years, remains to be seen.
Yesterday's Wall Street Journal, devoting space to something other than Henry Paulson, said that maybe he'd given up the 3-pack-a-day habit in favor of a 2.5-pack-a-day habit.
Saying that he's given it up, and that's still a little question in my mind.
When we asked him about the Wall Street Journal report, he said, oh yeah, I just smoked that day so that I could impress the reporter who was writing the article. And of course, press relations has always been his greatest strength. He has issued over the course of the past 8 years some of the most incendiary and colorful quotes to be found anywhere in boxing. In fact, Don King in the picture, it's entirely proper to point out that Mayorga was the inheritor to Mike Tyson as the most provocative press agent for himself in the sport.
Now making his entrance to the ring, Sugar Shane Mosley.
Well, we're within a long stone's throw of Mosley's hometown in Pomona, California. It's the first time that he has fought here in Southern California since beating Oscar De La Hoya in Staples Center more than 8 years ago. So something of a homecoming for Sugar Shane.
Well, you know, the one thing that we can be assured of, Shane Mosley's going to throw punches, and he will not back down from anyone. And we know that Mayorga's going to throw punches. So it should be a very exciting fight.
However, I believe that the big odds he's favored by, as much as 6 or 7 to 1 man-to-man, seems like an overlay. He should be favored. I don't think he should be favored by that much.
Well, to sound one of the themes of the evening, I disagree. I'd make him a 10 to 1 favorite. I think that Mayorga is an easy target for anybody with precise boxing skills, and Mosley has very precise boxing skills.
You know, Mayorga's got a physical size, which is naturally big, but when you don't have the skills to go with that size, I don't think it's going to matter that much. I mean, he got a big punch, but the fact that you can see his punch coming, so it means that I don't think he's as dangerous as he could be.
And let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Home Depot Center, Carson, California, Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and Don King Productions are proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing in the junior middleweight division. On the line, the vacant WBA Intercontinental title, sponsored by Tecate Cerveza con Character, Affliction Clothing, Southwest Airlines low fares, no hidden fees. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman Tim Noonan, Executive Officer Armando Garcia. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout, Tony Krebs, Pat Russell, and Nelson Vasquez. And inside the ring, at the bell, in charge of the action, referee David Mendoza. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue with white, official weight, 153 1/2 pounds. Professional record, 28 victories, including 22 knockouts, 6 defeats, 1 draw, 1 no contest. De Managua, Nicaragua, the former welterweight world champion and former super welterweight champion of the world, Ricardo Matador Mayorga. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gold, official weight, also 153 1/2 pounds. Professional record, 44 victories, including 37 knockouts, 5 defeats, and 1 no decision. From Pomona, California, former lightweight world champion, former welterweight world champion, former super welterweight champion of the world, Sugar Mosley.
We've gone over the rules and the fouls. Shane, protect yourself at all times and listen to my command. Ricardo, sigue mis instrucciones y protégete, okay? Dale la mano y regresa. Touch gloves, go back to your corner.
Mayorga committed suicide by quote by angering Oscar de la Hoya. He's been relatively subdued before this fight. Let's see if that works for him.
Comes across the ring and tries for 1 big right-handed shot. Let's see if he'll swing away for another one here in the first round. It was a big right hand over the top that first got Vernon Forrest in trouble in the biggest win of his career. Mosley sticking his jab. Both fighters look extremely intense here in the opening minute of the fight. Another swing over the top with the right hand by Mayorga, and now Mayorga grabs Mosley as he comes in.
You know, even though Shane said he was going to watch him for the first 2 rounds and then try to force Mayorga to back up because he feels that Mayorga doesn't fight good at all backing up. It's still, the fire in Shane just made him have to throw his overhand right anyway. He's not going to run too much. He's going to try to make Mayorga back up.
Mayorga now talks about strategy, as he did when he fought Vargas in a more controlled aggression. Strategy and Mayorga didn't belong in the same book, much less the same sentence.
Referee David Mendoza warns Ricardo Mayorga not to hit Shane Mosley in the back of the head. Mayorga tried a sweeping left hook. Mosley is clearly intent on trying to match fire with fire in the early going, as he said yesterday, to make him react to me. Good right hand by Mosley. Now Mendoza warns Mosley not to hit Mayorga in the back. So both fighters have already been warned for tactics in the first minute and a half of the fight.
But Mayorga's doing the same thing over and over and over. With a seasoned, skillful fighter like Shane Mosley, you're not going to hit him by throwing the same punches. He's thrown about 12 punches, and I think about 10 of them have been the same punch over and right.
Mayorga tried wild stuff early against De La Hoya. De La Hoya, who was more relaxed at that phase of the fight than Mosley is, put him on his back with a left hook 56 seconds into the first round. From that point on, it was pretty easy for Oscar. There's a chopping right hand for Mayorga, and Mosley feels a need to come back for the same kind of thing. Round one is full of excitement for the crowd here in Carson.
There have been occasions in the past when Mosley has been somewhat vulnerable to right-hand leads.
Yeah, but he's very angry tonight, and he's trying to go underneath the right hand. He knows that right hand's coming over top, so he's trying to go underneath it, but he's not going to get hit with that too long.
Stop.
Round one is dramatic, and the crowd loves it.
Breathe. Ricardo, you gotta go straight to the body, straight with the right, and then the hook to the left. And when you hit him, bring your guard up. Bring your guard up. You must keep pressing, press, and jab. Use jabs.
Let me just start going to the body side. This guy's gonna get tired doing all that crazy shit. So all you need to do is relax and take control of everything. Don't throw no wild punches. Take your shots that you see. Bam!
Here you see Shane Mosley land a straight, perfect 1-2 right on the chin. And shortly after here, Mayorga comes back, shoots a right uppercut, didn't land, but it moved Shane in a position where he came back with an overhand right that landed. And even though it wasn't that clean, I think it had a lot of effect because of the physical strength and size of Mayorga.
Yeah, but even without his balance, as you've pointed out, he was able to throw a three-punch combination.
Yeah, he put together the company. I give him credit for that, but I just think technically, as the fight goes on, his lack of technical skills are short. But right now, I think he's fighting a good fight, and he's doing what he should do when he has the limited skills he has. He's trying to overpower Shane.
Another good 1-2 for Mosley. And now their heads come together as Shane goes inside. Mayorga's best insulting line leading up to this fight, and he was relatively mild in his diatribe against Mosley compared to what he's done in the past with other opponents, particularly De La Hoya. His best insulting line was to say, I'm going to beat Mosley and make him go back to work washing dishes at home, saying that Mosley's wife, Jen, calls all the shots because she's Shane's manager. Shane, who has smiled through all of this, said, I don't even wash dishes. I do some child care.
And his wife, Jen, has done a great job at this stage of helping with his career, too. I have to give her credit for that.
She's a very dignified lady who is not a publicity seeker,
no.
Unlike some other women who have been in that position, and who simply wants to run her husband's career the best she can.
And she knows boxing, too.
Very respected. Left hook raises for Mayorga.
Shane isn't doing much here. I mean, he's waiting for Mayorga.
He's wanting to punch with Mayorga. That's what he wants to stand. He feels that he can land shorter, straighter punches and beat Mayorga with his looping punches. But that's a big risk when you have a guy that punches as hard and is physically as big as Mayorga is.
And I think he's kind of waiting for some of Mayorga's vibrant early energy to subside so that, you know, whatever danger might be there is diminished by the time he goes in and tries to go to work.
Well, we've got a minute to go in this round. Somebody's got to win this minute to win this round.
Well, the way that they're going, and I'm surprised though what has been cut yet, because the way their heads are colliding, somebody may get cut in this fight possibly from a butt.
Yeah, both guys have kind of ducked away once or twice, realizing that there's so much forward momentum that they run the risk of an accidental headbutt. Mayorga's trying to win the round. Larry suggested it was on the table. Mayorga's putting on an energy burst here.
He may have won both the first round and the second round.
Good left hook by Mosley as Mayorga walked right into it.
Break. Watch your head. Watch your head. Both of them. Bang.
You gotta hit him to the body, and then the hook to the left. You gotta hit him to the body, you understand? And lively, look alive. Keep your head out of the way. To the left. Come on, relax. You gotta pop the jab, and then to the side.
Here's Jen Mosley, wife of Shane Mosley, and as we mentioned, his manager, and sitting right next to Richard Schaefer, the chief operating officer of Golden Boy Promotions, the firm in which Shane is involved and of which Oscar De La Hoya is the CEO.
They're doing great business together.
CompuBox numbers in round two: Mosley only 3 out of 28, Mayorga only 4 out of 37. So there's a lot of throwing and not a whole lot of landing, and Harold Letterman agreed with your estimation that Mayorga may have won the first 2 rounds on the scorecard.
Mayorga, so he's fighting a very determined, focused fight. I thought about the 3rd or 4th round he would be slowing down. But, you know, just watching his body rhythm between rounds seemed like he seemed to be very much into the fight still.
Mayorga with a combination tackle and left hook there. No question that Shane Mosley is very cautious about Ricardo Mayorga's wild right hand over the top.
Great. Watch your head. Watch your head.
Unless you hit Mayorga with something and give him something to think, he will just come and come and come.
Yeah, and he's one of these rough guys. His punches come from all angles, like Juan Rodin used to be years back. But, you know, Shane just feels that he eventually can catch it with a short punch. But in the meantime, Mayorga's fighting the perfect fight for himself.
You know, Shane is not so much of a boxer. He's a fighter.
No, you're right.
More. And so he's just having a hard time taking him apart, dissecting him, figuring him out, because that's not what he normally does.
No, he's never been having an authoritative jab. He has a jab, but it's more of a, you know, feeling, probing jab. And then he explodes.
Let's go.
But he's always been a fighter. And he seemed to be a fine and good range with that short right hand over the shoulder. And that's what he's continuing to keep doing over and over and over with the short right hand. Even though I thought the key punch myself would have been his left hook in this fight.
It's possible that Mosley could establish something more in his favor if he would use the jab more.
Yeah, but Mayorga's got Shane off to his rhythm. Got him fighting his type of fight.
Exactly. It seems like Mosley has fallen into the trap of fighting the way Mayorga wants to fight.
And Mayorga's a physically stronger man.
And Shane is 37 years old. You never know when that becomes too old.
Yeah, now that is absolutely true. We've seen fighters go off the diving board in one night. We've seen him go off the diving board in one round. And not only is he 37 years old, but he's in his 50th professional fight.
You know, there aren't many punches being landed in this fight.
That's an understatement.
3-3. Breathe, bring your hands down. Breathe now. Breathe, breathe, Ricky. Drink the water now.
Okay, and especially if you do another body shot. Okay, suck it up. Okay, you starting to come around. This is the fourth round coming up. You're coming around. You got his hands coming down. He don't like those body shots. So when you duck forward, every time you duck down, hit him. Hit him. I know he's gonna be on top of you, but duck down and dig to the body. Every little shot you hit him there now is gonna hurt because you hit him with some 2 hard ones. Every little shot up there is gonna hurt. I don't care how hard you hit him.
CompuBox numbers through 3. Mosley averaging 5 out of 26. Mayorga averaging 4 out of 44. So if they're scoring for Mayorga, it's because he's throwing, not because he's landing. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Nice cut for Mayorga. 29-28. 2 rounds to 1, Ricardo Mayorga. In rounds 1 and 2, I thought he did pretty well with his rushing in and throwing out wild right hand. Shane didn't do a heck of a lot as I saw the fight. In round 3, I thought Shane Mosley got his act together a little bit. You know, like you guys have been saying, much more orthodox fighter. Mayorga should be made for him. In the 3rd round, I thought Mosley hit him on the way in with some good shots to win the 3rd round. 2-1, Mayorga.
I have it 2-1 for Mosley because I thought he won the 1st round. But it's hard when you're in an alley fight.
Yeah, and incidentally, in the alley fight, there's more responsibility for referee David Mendoza. And you see him, you've already seen a lot of his work because he's tried to separate them and keep them from butting each other in the head. You mentioned in the last fight, Larry, that you've never heard of a doctor being a referee, Dr. James Jenkin. He's a psychiatrist. And maybe, frankly, they all should be psychiatrists. Or maybe he should have been refereeing this fight.
I pity this psychiatrist who had to sit down with Mayorga.
Well, of course, maybe Mayorga is exactly the subject that a psychiatrist is looking for.
Tony Soprano.
Double left hook by Mosley as Mayorga was gliding on by. Good right hand by Shane Mosley. Kind of hesitated and then popped Mayorga with a right-hand lead.
And Shane has never been no devastating right-hand puncher. Usually the best punches that I've heard, but he's finding out he can hit Mayorga so easy. But Mayorga being such a big, stronger guy, he's been able to take those right hands that would have probably knocked out a normal, smaller guy. But because of his physical size and strength, he has never been hurt seriously in this fight still.
Well, I think I begin to get a glimpse of why Mosley has been less active and why he hasn't been using his jab as much and what it is that he's working on. I think he's trying to time Mayorga coming in and catch him with something big as Mayorga lunges forward. Shane ducking away from the left-hand shot the last moment. And you see the CompuBox numbers mounting in this round where Mosley has already landed 12 by CompuBox count to only 2 for Mayorga. So Shane is beginning to put more of an offensive imprint on the fight here in round 4.
Breathe. Breathe. Recuperate. Now, breathe deeply. Your eyes face off. Ricardo, you're waiting too much. Don't wait so much. Ricardo, don't wait too much.
Go to the body, too, again. Okay? But you can hit him again with that right hand, but make it straight and fast, like a jab. You're on your toes, got to be on your toes. This is what, the 5th, 6th round. You got, okay, get on your toes.
Here you see about the most effective punch that's been landing in the whole fight, and that's been the Shane Mosley straight right hand. I mean, hitting a normal 147-pounder, 154 pound, he probably would have knocked him out, at least knocked him down. But Mayorga took the punch very well.
Well, one thing that we've talked about for years, and I think it's probably still Larry Merchant's assertion, that Mosley's best weight was 135. He was for quite a long time the best lightweight in the world, and then moved up 12 pounds to fight first Wilfredo Rivera and then Oscar De La Hoya in the welterweight division in the year 2000.
Well, he was 32-0 with 30 knockouts as a lightweight. Might have been the best since Duran, but most fighters move up in weight these days, and he was in a very good welterweight.
You know, even though Shane has never been a real big physical guy, he's always been physically strong. I've never saw anyone just physically manhandle him. He's a very well-coordinated, physically strong little guy.
Break.
Now he's doing what he wanted to do, is to make Mayorga back up. Mayorga is never going to hit you when you're throwing a punch him because he's not a counter-puncher. Everything he does normally has to go forward and charge at you. So this is what Shane wanted to do to force him to back up now.
And again, I think that a lot of what happened in the first 3 rounds was Shane simply waiting for the storm to subside and waiting for Mayorga's energy level to go down to the point where he would be less dangerous.
And I tell you, I'm impressed with Mayorga's energy level at this point. I thought it would be much lower than it is, but he still is dangerous.
Maybe he did cut down on the cigarettes.
Well, as I said in the meeting yesterday, I saw an intensity and a seriousness that I have never saw in his eyes before. And so I know he's very well prepared and very determined for this fight.
Good left hand by Mayorga. Knocks Mosley back momentarily. And there's a lead left hook by Shane Mosley. And a perfect right hand, busting Mayorga on the chops.
He did something before that you seldom see today. He hooked off the jab. He faked the jab and came with a hook.
Vladimir Klitschko does it from time to time. Aren't that many other fighters who can do it. Right hand inside by Mayorga. Mosley beating Mayorga to the punch with the left hand there. And another good right cross from Shane Mosley. More and more he's targeting Mayorga with that precise right hand shot.
And Mayorga has no defense. He doesn't really go underneath. He doesn't roll it. He just takes it. Just takes it and just moves.
Mayorga now beginning to complain to referee David Mendoza and try to make a big point about how he's getting hit in the back.
Well, you know, it's one thing I've learned with all tough, bully-type guys. As soon as they get roughed up, they're the first guys to start complaining.
Left hook lands upstairs for Mayorga. Mosley manages to pop Mayorga with an uppercut as he's coming in. And now the two fighters are talking to each other.
Breathe. Breathe. Put ice there. Leave the rest. Leave the rest. Ricky. Come on. Forget that right.
Okay, he's done. This is round 7. Box him again like he was boxing. Kick him with them left jabs to the heart. And turn the right hand to the heart.
Here you see Shane Mosley shoot one of his favorite punches when he starts a jab and next time he's going to jab and changes into a hook. He did something a little similar to this when he knocked out Vargas. That was one of his heroes' favorite combinations. Sugar Ray Robinson was very similar with that same type of a left hook.
Jack Mosley has rarely been able to get the rounds right.
Never.
Over the years.
Never.
It's round 6, Jack.
Well, you know, Shane said he predicted he would stop Mayorga in 8 rounds. That was his prediction, he said, which was unusual because he knows he's not a big puncher. And even his right-hander said that he lands it, but he's not a power puncher. But he's a fighter. As you said earlier, Larry, even though he moves and juggles around and he's got the name Sugar, Shane actually likes to fight, though.
So now, are you suggesting, Emmanuel, that Jack really knows it's the 6th round, but decided to tell Shane it was the 7th to maybe speed him up on the knockout phase?
No, I think he believes it's the 6th.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Jack Mosley trait which has been there in virtually every one of Shane's fights.
Well, you notice I'm always asking.
It's round 10. I don't really know.
I can't complain about that. I'm always asking what round is it when I'm working.
Well, that's interesting.
I have to look at the ring card, girls.
Right, okay, which isn't a bad idea, but do trainers really always know the round, particularly when there's nothing as in an enclosed arena where you can look up and say what round it is.
But you should always know the rounds, Lee, because if you don't do a knockout, it may be a crucial factor.
I've seen quite a number of fighters look around the trainer toward the round card girl, but I doubt it's for the same reason. Now Mayorga is saying that he's been butted.
Keep it up.
There's no blood, nothing from the nose, nothing from the head.
Well, I saw in the first round that the styles of his were in the clash. But it's just, you know, I may be wrong, but I looked at the expression in Mayorga's face at the end of the last round. It looked like he's starting to give a little bit emotionally.
Oh, yeah. Well, the gap in technical skills is starting to show up in a big, big way. And this is the thing about Mayorga. If you've got the cojones to fight him, he's an easy target, as Shane is beginning to learn. He was an easy target for Trinidad, he was an easy target for De La Hoya, and increasingly now he becomes an easy target for Mosley.
Mayorga is saying to Shane, more. He's trying to bait him.
And that's exactly what Shane is doing, too. He's fortunate Shane is not a super big puncher, and the fact that he's physically so large, he can take those punches. But Shane is giving him everything he wants. He wants more, he's giving him more.
Left hook by Mosley. Now Mayorga says, oh, hit me again. And Mosley hits him twice with the left hook to the head and the body and busts him with the right cross. And the steam is going out of Mayorga's punches as increasingly he's backing up.
And they cannot fight backing up too good.
This is why I would have made it 10-1.
Well, as Shane said, something is going to happen when he fights. Have you ever seen a 37-year-old guy with a round like that?
He's fighting. Most fighters, as they get older, they become defensive-minded. You know, they're always trying to be making sure they don't get hurt. Shane is in there with a guy much bigger than him, heavy-handed fighter, and he's fighting.
Close, lean up the line. Do that Frankie Gocko thing if you have to turn his ass around. But you win it from here on out. You got it. All you got to do.
Here you see Shane landing right-handed. He's been landing continually all night long. It's amazing how Mayorga's taking those punches and never really been seriously hurt from them. Yeah, here's a combination when he was asking for more, and Shane is putting him in a variety of different punches. Right hands, left hooks, uppercuts.
In the 6th round by CompuBox count, Mosley landed 25 out of 43. It has become a Mosley offensive festival as Mayorga's energy level has dropped. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
I'll get you 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2, Sugar Shane Mosley. Jim, this has become the easiest fight in the world to score. In round 3, Shane Mosley figured out Ricardo Mayorga, and since then it's all Shane Mosley. I mean, he's landed all the clean good shots. He had a terrific left hook by Shane Mosley. He's just doing it over and over and over again. Very easy fight to score. 4-2, Mosley on clean punching.
Could that last round have been a 2-point round?
Yeah, it was very close, Larry. I thought about it, but Mayorga punched back. You had to give him credit for that, so I scored a 10-9.
Mayorga's still in the fight, even though he's been hit a lot. He's never been seriously hurt, and he seems to be in great condition and still seems to be very much in control mentally.
Well, remember, he comes into the ring weighing 10 pounds more than Mosley. So you're asking Shane to knock out a guy who outweighs him by 10 pounds in the ring.
That's what I've been saying continually all night. The same punches that he's landed, if the guy was the same size, he would have knocked him out. I knocked him down, but because of that big size, he's able to absorb those punches.
I mean, just to make the comparison clear, Mayorga is heavier than the weight at which Joe Calzaghe used to weigh in when he was dominating the super middleweight division. He's as heavy as the weight at which Bernard Hopkins and Kelly Pavlik will weigh in October 18th.
I've been amazed. He's been hit with so many clean punches and has never been seriously hurt by Shane. And Shane has hit him right on the money. And Mayorga's still dangerous.
Well, when Mayorga was a welterweight at 147, at that weight he was just crazily strong. which is why he was able to beat Forrest, who was a very good fighter.
He somehow gulled Forrest into fighting his fight. Forrest simply couldn't force himself to be disciplined enough as a boxer against Mayorga. And of course, you pointed out, Emmanuel Stewart, that you believe Forrest was physically compromised against Mayorga by the bad left shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah, and in the second fight, though, Forrest made a much closer fight of it.
And some thought he won it.
Mayorga's fighting a very determined fight. I thought he would by this time be finished.
Incidentally, Forrest is also a veteran fighter who fights much like his younger self.
Recently having beaten Sergio Mora in the rematch, to once again become the kingpin of the 154-pound weight class, the class in which this fight is taking place. So when you look at possible business for Mosley down the stretch, that's one of the options if he wins tonight. It would be a third fight against Vernon Forrest.
We'll throw some jab. Okay, we'll get some points. Just set up that hard right hand and knock his ass out. Throw some jab. Got the Vaseline, put some Vaseline on it. Okay. Throw more jabs, Shane. Jab to the body, jab to the head. Just that simple. You know, it's like you
have to keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. Don't let him go. You must press him. Keep it close. Keep it close to press him. Press him, 1, 2, and pop him. Come on, use your defense and keep your hands up. And don't move your hands. Come on, wake up, wake up.
CompuBox numbers through the 6th round. Power punches in this fight. Mosley, 55 out of 116. In other words, landing at a 47% clip. And Mayorga, 32 out of 235. 14%. So Shane Mosley landing at a triple percentage rate, the rate of power punches, as opposed to Mayorga.
Break. Okay, break.
It hasn't been pretty.
Okay.
It has been increasingly effective for Mosley. He does seem at times to be pounding against a brick wall.
And with all those punches, you know, still Mayorga still is not busted up, not cut anywhere, and that's what is amazing, the punches he's been hit with. And he's still very dangerous the way he's punching.
He's beginning to fight a little bit like John Ruiz, however. I mean, or the old John Ruiz. John would say, I don't do it anymore, but Mayorga's starting to throw one punch at a time and then fall on Shane and clinch it. Which suggests that he's getting tired.
But Shane has not dealt with his daddy because he never had his daddy tell him to box, just to jab. The box, but he never has to jab too much. And he can maybe do that, would make it easy. But Shane is just fighting his fight. Only difference is Shane has got faster hands.
And a better defense.
You know, he did it in the lightweight division, but I think a part of the observation is that whenever Shane has gone up in weight, the further he goes up in weight, the more he feels compelled to fight as opposed to box. The more he reduces his game to power punches instead of boxing the way he did back as a lightweight when he would set up his power shots more effectively.
There are very few fighters who have moved up in weight class and been just as effective in the higher weight classes, unless they were young when they moved up.
Let's go.
In the fighters meeting, he told us that he found himself in recent years a lot loading up with power punches instead of getting back to his boxing skills, and that's pretty much what he's doing tonight. He's just loading up with power punches now. Exactly what he said he wouldn't do.
Well, once a fighter is 37 years old, what he says he's going to do in the fighter meeting doesn't always correspond to what he's really going to do in the ring.
Well, and it's hard to fight an unorthodox fighter in an orthodox way.
Yeah, it's very difficult to fight a guy like Mayorga.
Break. Come on, stop. Okay.
In other words, you can't conduct a symphony when there's a rap concert going on around you.
Something like that.
and may have been a Mayorga round.
Surely the most exultant celebration ever for having won a single round.
Breathe deeply. Ricardo, you've got to keep pressing. You've got to keep pressing. He's tired. He's tired. Jab and straight punch.
Plant your feet and dig to the body. Don't wrestle with him. I mean, you got him tired. All you got to do is swing the punches. Swing them. And hit him in the body, hit him in the head like we did with the round punches. But set it up with the jab. Don't make the fight close by wrestling with it. Jab him. Jab him to the stomach.
No luchar, no luchar. No wrestling, no wrestling. Work. Okay, break.
Suddenly Shane throws 4 jabs in a row.
Okay, break. Okay, break.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what Mayorga is celebrating in there.
I think maybe he's trying to pump himself up right here and trying to get the crowd to get into him, even though that's not happening. So he seems to feel good about himself. Yeah, he's feeling good about himself.
You know, that and the fact that he's 3 or 4 rounds away from being able to get back to his addictions.
Well, at this point, I've got him maybe winning this round even possible.
Certainly he's succeeded in making Shane wary of him again.
Yep. And there's a good left hook he landed on Shane. Even though it wasn't clean, I think just the size made it be effective.
All right, break. Break. Let's go. All right, break.
Good left hook by Mosley. Stops the action momentarily. Mayorga pounding him on the top of the head with the right. Good left hook by Mosley, sharp and precise.
Break. All right, suéltalo. Break. Break.
Another good left hook by Mosley, off a right by Mayorga.
I think the body punches hurt Mayorga more than the head punches.
I think that's true of almost everybody. Shane's dad has asked him to focus more on body punches.
Good right hand by Mayorga. Well, as he has put it, I've always been nuts, is what Mayorga says about himself.
That's a close round.
And another Mayorga celebration.
Breathe now. Ricky, breathe. You did good. Bring him up with that uppercut. Right uppercut.
Dig to the body and give me those round punches, round hooks, okay? When you're close with him, just throw your punches. Let the referees and everybody judge and everybody know you're winning this fight. Round punches that we worked on with the men. They don't even have to be hard. Just swing them. You know how you swung that hook?
Here you see an uppercut coming in from Mayorga. And, you know, as the fight is getting closer now because it's becoming a physical fight, he's having more of an advantage now. He's landing a right hook like over on the side there. And Shane is moving right into his power and not boxing him.
Round 10 begins. Harold Letterman, how did you have it through 9?
Okay, so I have an 87-84, 6 rounds to 3, Shane Mosley. Yeah, Jim, I thought he won 5 rounds in a row, but then all of a sudden in round 8, Shane Mosley didn't do a darn thing. I mean, really, he let Ricardo Mayorga take the fight to him and just whack him with his chopping shots. He came back in the 9th, very close round in the 9th. I thought Shane pulled it out with the straightest shots. I have it 6-3, Mosley.
I have the same score.
Well, which suggests to you that it's not out of the question. Some ringside judges could have it 5-4 Mosley, or maybe even the other way. I mean, it's still a fight that could go either way mathematically, although through most of the middle portion of the fight, it seemed as though Shane was gaining control. I think Shane would do well to invest some more in the body shots with which he began this round. He seemed to stop Mayorga's action a little bit with body shots early on. Suddenly, Shane momentarily stands in a southpaw stance.
Does Mayorga throw body shots?
Yeah, he does, particularly on the inside. When they're leaning in together. But in this round, it's been Mosley who's trying to get to Mayorga's ribcage.
Mosley, when he was a teenage amateur star, and then when he started his professional career, trained with a lot of Mexican fighters in Los Angeles, and was a really, really strong body puncher for much of his career.
Wicked left hook to the body when he was in the lightweight division. Mayorga has spent part of this round somewhat on a bicycle and hasn't been nearly as threatening to Mosley as he was in the 2 preceding frames. There's an attempted Mayorga body shot.
Break.
As they wrestle each other and Mendoza pulls them apart. Mayorga wants Mendoza to call a low blow against Mosley. Good right hand by Shane. This time Mayorga finally blocks a right hand shot. This was more of a wrestling round for Mayorga, and Shane Mosley landed the punches. So if he needed scorecard breathing room, he might have gotten it there.
It's a grueling fight now, rather than a entertaining fight.
But just a couple more rounds to go. You got to fight. You got to let the punches go. Can't worry about that. You can pass that up at the hospital tonight. But tonight, you got to fight. These 2 rounds, you got to fight his ass. Okay? You let him dog you out. He's trying to. He's not really dogging you out. You got to say, no, you can't even try to dog me out. I'm dogging your ass out. Okay? You got 2 more rounds. You got to...
Press him. Press the straight right hand with the hooks. I'm not going to get close. You need to get close. You need to get close. You need to press him. You have to be first.
Our interpreter, Jerry Olaya, in Mayorga's corner. On top of it as usual. As Mayorga gets instructions from Rigoberto Garibaldi. Jack Mosley has been a fixture in Shane's corner through most of his career.
Okay, break.
Even though Shane may be ahead on the scorecard, I've been very, very impressed with Mayorga tonight. I'm just saying in bewilderment that he's never been seriously hurt, and, you know, been hit with clean punches, and still is fighting with such strength and energy going into these late rounds like this. And actually, for the most part, is physically dogging Shane. Shane is not boxing, but I thought Shane would have probably caught him and knocked him out by now with clean, sharp punches, because he would have got tired, but that's not happening.
Mosley landing a couple of crisp right hands and a left hook. Once again, Mayorga is brawling and mauling, but Mosley's the man who's landed clean shots in this round.
Oscar De La Hoya boxed Mayorga and was landing crisp shots that he didn't see.
Yeah, and don't forget, and Oscar's maybe a little better puncher too. Oscar still is a pretty good puncher.
Well, we asked Mayorga yesterday for his unofficial ranking of the threesome of De La Hoya, Trinidad, and Mosley, and he was quite clear. He said, oh, that's easy. Number 1, De La Hoya. Number 2, Trinidad. Number 3, Shane Mosley. And I said,
he hadn't fought Mosley yet.
Yeah, and I said, well, then you must think, if you say that De La Hoya won his second fight with Shane. He said, no, Mosley beat him twice. But he still ranked De La Hoya ahead of him.
Fighters have their own logic.
Particularly that one.
Wait, stop. Hey.
And of course,
let's go.
He does feel the need to denigrate whatever opponent is next in the ring with him.
Oh, no. Break. Stop. Come on. You got to keep him up. Suelo para arriba.
But he'd like to have another fight with De La Hoya if we're able to beat Shane. Oh, there's a big right hand by Mosley, and another one right there. Mayorga with the huge chin, the beard that has shown the ability to take those punches all night long, kind of nods at Shane as if to say, come on, hit me again. Nobody celebrates impending defeat like Ricardo Mayorga.
Yeah.
Mosley blocked Mayorga's left hand.
And has not been hurt still the whole fight.
Mosley, when he's chosen to use the jab, has been effective with it and has backed Mayorga up. Mayorga again waving to his crowd contingent.
Yeah, the jab is the one thing he can't handle. It's as simple, the straightest punch.
Absolutely.
This is why fighters are the worst judges of rounds in their fights.
Breathe. Okay, we've got to finish strong. We've got to finish strong and work the left hand, the left hook. Mayorga, listen. Come on. Work it on the left side. Work the left hand and the hook. Work the left hand and the hook. Then go to the body. This is the last one.
You got to cleanly shut this damn round out. Take a deep breath. Okay? Shut this round out.
Here we see Shane landing another one of the same type punches that we've been showing continually on our replays. A perfectly timed right hand, which he's landed throughout the entire fight, which is probably going to make a difference in the decision because he's landed the clean, accurate punches.
If it doesn't make a difference in the decision, something's wrong here.
Power punches through 11. Mosley 86 out of 181. Mayorga 61 out of 396. All in all, Mosley's landed 127 punches to only 66 for Mayorga. Shouldn't be that terribly difficult to fight the score. Not that easy to referee. And again, when Shane uses the jab, Mayorga just walks right into it.
All right, break. Go.
Off the way he looked last year against Miguel Cotto in a close loss. A lot of people took seriously Mosley's desire to present himself against the man who's now the top welterweight in the world, Antonio Margarito. It's hard to tell whether this is a fair test of what Mosley might be able to do against Margarito because of the unorthodox nature of the fight.
Right, Margarito is a very strong, but he's a conventional fighter. He's just a very, very strong, determined conventional fighter.
Consistent,
non-stop.
Break. Hey, put your head. Cabeza. Wait, no, para de tirar.
Shane fights in bursts. Margarito fills every round's box score from start to finish. That, to me, would be the biggest difference.
And as Larry said, he's a basic fundamental fighter. He doesn't do anything unusual, but he's just so
right
consistent.
hand by Mosley. Whipsaws Mayorga with another right hand.
That one hurt him. His feet were doing
and
funny
a good
things.
left hook by Mosley.
But he's come back.
Shane is making his point down the stretch. And another right hand busts Mayorga in the chops.
This is what you love about Mosley. Right? He's got the crowd on its feet, cheering for something dramatic to happen here.
Just as he did against Oscar De La Hoya 8 years ago. Scintillating fighting down the stretch of the fight by Shane Mosley. A brilliant 12th round. And he puts Mayorga on the canvas.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay,
so it took a while, but Shane Mosley came up with some of that old 12th round magic. And he knocks him down again to finish the fight.
And it's a knockout.
The left hook.
It's a knockout. He finally got it.
Brilliant stuff by Shane Mosley.
Shane Mosley, I love you.
And the crowd does too. What a homecoming.
This was his greatest moment to me. Even in beating Vargas was Vargas, but even though this guy has been losing a lot of fights, such a dramatic knockout in a fight that was really going back and forth the last 2 rounds. Fantastic knockout.
As I said earlier, that's who Shane Mosley is. He wants to fight, and he wants to give the fans a show.
The right hands couldn't do it, so he pointed back to the left hook.
Pomona, California's own Shane Mosley. And here's the series of punches that hurt Ricardo Mayorga. A right hand on the chin. Perfect shot. And having found the key, he came back with another one. Here's the first knockdown. And the now fading Mayorga goes down as Mosley adds a left for good measure and fires in another right. The 3-punch combination putting the Nicaraguan fighter on the canvas. One more angle of knockdown number 1. Mayorga just leaning into these punches as he did through much of the second half of the fight. And now the end. Mayorga getting up from the knockdown, and Shane Mosley walks in and says, "Eat this."
Yeah, that works.
The cleanup,
that was
hook,
a beautiful left hook. That was I call it the Sugar Ray Robinson left hook, where you spring from your toes. Similar to what Oscar De La Hoya did when he had that great knockout over Vargas.
Yes, indeed.
And also Shane did it when Shane has knocked out Vargas with the same left hook.
Now let's go to Michael Buffer for the particulars on the drama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes in round number 12, the final round. The official time of the knockout, 2 minutes, 59 seconds. The winner by knockout victory, the pride of Pomona, California. He's so sweet, he's sugar. Shane Mosley.
Final CompuBox numbers will tell the story of a fight in which Shane Mosley huffed and puffed and pounded away at a brick wall and finally blew Ricardo Mayorga down. Mosley landing 71 more punches, almost doubling Mayorga's total number of landed punches, throwing 191 fewer, and therefore tripling Mayorga's connect percentage, 36-12. Power shots. Mosley landing 31 more, throwing 215 fewer, and almost tripling Mayorga's connect percentage in that category as well. And now Larry Merchant stands by with Sugar Shane Mosley.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Shane. What took you so long? 2:59 of the 12th round.
Man, I mean, Mayorga, he's definitely tough.